I think PTSD has a negative connotation to it. When you hear it, it just gives you a funny feeling. I think that post-traumatic growth is positive. It's a positive way to say that there's hope for these veterans that come back from difficult times and from hard experiences.
Distraction is the biggest thing that golf really does. It focuses your attention away from your problems and back onto something constructive, even if that constructive thing is just going out and having fun. As soon as you start having fun again, you're really making headways into depression and PTSD symptoms.
Right now, 22 veterans commit suicide every day. It's a staggering number. It's an epidemic. With golf and veterans, I don't know, like I said, I think it saved my life.
So when I went in the Army, I did 3 tours in Iraq. So my unit, we did convoy security. 2007, we were out on a mission, and my truck was hit with an IED, and caused traumatic brain injury to me.
And then what happened?
In 2021, I was diagnosed with bone cancer. So now I got a different outlook on life. Every day I wake up, it's a blessing. Just want to live my life and be happy and try to make others happy. The VGA is incredible. You know, the VGAs gave me life. So last year, I was a team captain for Army at the Armed Forces Cup, and leading my team to victory was one of the best feelings I've ever had in my life. And I've met people from every state, and I've got friends everywhere. And I mean, I love these guys. I love the VGA, what it represents.
We thrive on teamwork. And when we get out of the military, we are separated from our teams. We're together for 4 or 5 hours, golfing, laughing. Now you're my brother. It may keep a vet alive another day. That's why you have to have organizations like these. It's not about necessarily the golf. You get to be yourself finally. That's something a lot of vets haven't done in a long time.
A lot of men and women who serve around our country, they experience things that most human beings do not experience. And then they come back here and at times they feel lost. Veterans Golf Association is an organization that was created several years ago, and the purpose is that it's a community. Create this family around the great game of golf. And I think we all have an obligation to show the country what a veteran's all about. No greater way than the VGA.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to one of the premier events in veteran golf. We're coming to you live from Champions Retreat as the best players from across the country compete in this year's 2026 Veteran Golfers Association Armed Forces Cup Championship. Before we get into the coverage, I want to take a few minutes to thank our sponsors. Title sponsors include Altera, Bojangles, EasyGo, Black Rifle Coffee Company, AT&T, and Navy Mutual, to name a few. Many more sponsors, all of whom we thank for their continued support of America's veterans and the Veterans Golfers Association. This week features 10 golfers from each of the 5 military branches, Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard, traveling from all over the country to compete for branch pride and the title of AFC champion. This year we have each of the branches led by a team captain. For Team Army, it's Phil Inman. Marine Corps, Captain Chad Hirschman. Navy, Captain Michael Hughes. Air Force, Captain Ben Salter. And Coast Guard, Captain Tim Grover. Over the next 2 days, we'll bring you live coverage, highlights, leaderboard updates, and behind-the-scene moments from this incredible championship. Obviously, we want you all engaged online because this is being Facebook streamed live as we speak. And so hopefully all the families out there and fans are tuning in to watch this great event. I'm Kevin Fry, North Regional Director. I'm sitting next to Joe Cayley, co-founder of the VGA. We're thrilled to be here with you guys today. We're picking up coverage for this morning on the creek side of the course that we'll be playing over this championship. Hole number 4, which is a par 3. Playing for most of the competitors at about 150 yards. For our A-flighters, that'll be playing closer to 175, and for our senior members, we'll be playing closer to 130. Getting a good shot of the par 3 now on the feed here. Joe, as we come into coverage, we're going to be picking up the group of Alvin McRae, Johnny Walker, John Harris, and Scott Bojanowski.
That's right.
Yep. And we can get into kind of how those matches are playing out right now. Looks like Alvin McRae is 1 up through 3 over John Harris. Johnny Walker and Scott Bojanowski are tied right now. So tight matches right off the bat, Joe.
That's right. That's right. And these groups are coming off of 3 green, and they'll be making their way up to this par 3.
You can see him now coming on up.
And as you can tell, folks, and I'm sure you probably have seen some of the videos over the course of the last 3 days, the Augusta, Georgia area has been getting hammered with daily thunderstorms.
Hasn't rained since the Masters, and for this event, we get all the rain that.
That's right. That's right. I gave each of the teams a little bit of pep talk during registration that it's actually somewhat of a good thing because it softens up the course. It makes the greens a little bit softer. Obviously it brings a little bit of humidity into the air, but everyone was so anxious to get out and start their rounds this morning, Kev.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday we had the treat of being able to get out with the groups and play in the practice round and kind of get a preview of the course. And one thing that comes to mind right off the bat, which I think kind of flies under the radar for a lot of folks, is just how hard the course staff here at Champions Retreat works, not only to maintain the course in general, but for events like this, when there's weather conditions. I mean, we saw them out there early this morning, re-raking bunkers that had washed out.
That's right.
Making sure the greens were cut and rolled and ready for championship quality golf. So a really big shout out to all those folks.
Well, it looks like our first competitor of this grouping is coming up to the tee.
Yeah, I believe this is Alvin, who's now tied with John Harris in the Coast Guard.
Yep.
Really nice shot of the green here, folks. So this is a really interesting par 3. I think one of the best ones on the property because what you see there is you can kind of see the cameraman standing in the background. Massive hill off to the right that pushes all the golf shots down to the left. And if the players play their cards right to the right, they can really get a nice roll and get pretty close to this front pin location. We'll see how this one ends up.
That's
like
right.
A little bit of a pull into the front bunker there, but
and
shouldn't be too much of a challenging up and down.
Yeah, the first obstacle they got to get over that swampy looking creek,
Yeah, that's
right?
right, that's
You know,
right.
that's always daunting.
Yeah.
You know. Right. Next up, this looks like Mr. Was it Bojanski from Oregon, representing the United States Army.
Yes, that's right. Scott's going to go next, looks like. Just kind of way he's lined up. It looks like he's going to fire off to the right here and see if he can get one to come back around. Could be good. A little bit short.
But you know what? It's not bad.
Yeah,
They're playing cart path only today. He won't have that far to go.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, you can see the ball out there. I mean, that's probably a bit of a bailout, but way safer than anything left, and certainly short. So.
That's right. He got it across.
Yeah. Looks like this is Johnny Walker next. Is that Navy?
Had a great talk with Mr. Walker at registration. Fascinating man. Oh, ball made it safely across.
But Joe, to your point, that's exactly what players are going to expect today with the ball, even in the fairway, kind of creating divots and kind of plugging like that.
Correct.
Last year, when it was so firm, that would have probably bounded up onto the green.
That's correct. I know during my practice, my round yesterday with some of the players and all that, I was hitting shots, and I said, no, normally it would have rolled up on the green, but no. Oh, no.
That's going to be a re-tee, I think.
Very unfortunate.
So just as a reminder for this event, the teams are playing in a match play format. So really, each hole is its own kind of little mini competition. Players need to be aware of that because sometimes you can kind of get in a little bit of a funk and think that you're out of things. But Joe, as you know, we've seen really large comebacks. Players 4 or 5 down, come all the way back.
That's
Saw
correct.
it this year at the Liberty Cup with Ryan Villarreal, 5 down, came back to win his match, which was pretty great. So
and last year's comeback win with the Air Force.
That's right.
Yeah. And the year before they were able to peel off a lot of points. Oh gosh, that's a brave caddy right there. You know, the hole before this yesterday on the fairway, our group hit some great balls out in the middle of the fairway, and we walk out there and there's a water moccasin.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. You know.
It's an interesting drop. I don't know if this is what I would have wanted to do, or maybe he's feeling a little bit more comfortable, but he did have the option, I think, to go back and tee it back up. But that's a good swing.
All right.
Get it across.
Get it over.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
A little bit of roll there. All right. So as these players make their way up to the green, let's kind of go through the rest of the matches right now. Most of the players started on the Nicklaus course, which we'll be using exclusively this event, this one and the player course, because right now, Joe, Champions Retreat is undergoing a pretty significant renovation for next year's ANWA and for the members here, one of which is you. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. But like we said, Alvin McRae and John Harris are tied. Johnny Walker for the Navy team is 1 up over Scott Bojanowski. Moving down to the teams that we'll see come behind them, we've got Alton Levine down 1 to Daniel Evans. That's Air Force and Army. Coast Guard's Rick Vandinglinham and the Marines' Chad Hirschman are tied. Air Force's Ben Salter is 3 up over Army's Chris Butler. Scott Bachowski for the Marine Corps is 1 up over Air Force's William Chapendeline. Army Team Captain Phil Inman is 2 up over Coast Guard's Tara Rourke. Marines' Steve Martinez is 2 up over Navy's Tracy Brown. And Army's Paul Flake is 1 down to Navy Team Captain Michael Hughes. And so we'll get back to the rest of the leaderboard here in a minute as our players come up here. Yeah, Joe, we got up. I mean, the renovations basically started right after ANWA, right?
Exactly. April 14th. They started on the Palmer 9. the goal of the club is to renovate all the bunker complexes. They're going to make them play a little bit more consistent, um, and obviously improve some of the drainage.
Yeah.
Even with the 8 to 12 inches of rain that we've had here in the last several days, some of the bunkers were still retaining a little bit of water. Hopefully, with these new improvements, those things will be fixed. And
Nice
that
shot
was a
there.
heck of a
Yeah,
shot.
nice
Look at
there
that
from
smile.
Scott. Yeah,
Yeah,
really nice shot.
yeah. You can tell he's from Oregon, home of lab putters, because he's got one in hand, right?
Yeah.
And I think what's great is VJ Oregon.
Oh, look at this bunker shot.
Yeah, VJ Oregon has been able to give out a few lab putters.
Awesome.
I guess they've made a little bit of relationship with the folks there at Lab. So thank you to them.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
So
these some great chip shots up here.
Yeah, nice up and down out
Yeah,
of the bunker from Air Force's Alvin McRae, and then looked like John Harris there for the Coast Guard, able to get his ball up and down after that second shot from behind the creek there. Now we'll have Johnny Walker come up with his third shot.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
There you go. Give him some rollout. How about it? Great shot.
All right, match play, Cat. What do you is that good?
That looks like it could be a concession. That's another important rule, folks, for those who don't play match play often. Unlike in stroke play, where you have to, come up and pull everything out. As you can see there, the ball was picked up. That means the ball that putt was conceded for bogey, and so there's some gamemanship, but also some friendliness out here.
That's right.
You have a partner hit a good shot to a couple of feet. Let him have it. All right, looks like Scott's going to go next. This looks like maybe a 5 or 6 footer. See if that lab putter does the work it needs to do.
That does lab things.
Quick to
oh my
putt.
goodness!
Yeah, quick to step up, quick to sink the putt. Nice putt from Scott.
I might have to be looking at a lab.
Oh, that's going to be his probably triple bogey there.
Yeah, that was not a lab.
Those are the ones you just got to forget. Like
That's
I said,
right.
You one hole at a time. Put it out of your mind and move on to the next hole. So as we watch this group exit, our next group behind them is going to be Air Force's Alton Levine, who is currently 2 down to Army's Daniel Evans, and then Coast Guard's Rick Van Lenham and the Marine Corps captain Chad Hirschman tied through 5 holes of their round. Now, another cool part of this event, Joe, is that in addition to the team captains that I mentioned, we also have some honorary captains here this week, and they've been here for the last few years. Some of them are repeats.
That's right.
Some absolutely awesome speeches last night for anyone who wants to go watch those flag officers try to hype up their teams. We had General Paul Funk, Major General Austin Renforth, Vice Admiral Ron Boxell, General Lance Smith, and Rear Admiral Bob Day, all talking on behalf of each of their respective branches. And I think a lot of people look forward just for that part of the
That's
event.
right. Just
see what these guys come up with.
Yeah, these guys, some of them have months to prepare, and you can see that they had some written notes ready to start hyping up their team.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. And listen, I don't know how you feel, Joe. I know we try on the staff level to be as even-headed and
unbiased.
as unbiased as possible. But I'll tell you what, for my money, the Marine Corps team has won the speeches each of the last few years.
That's right. Oh, Sparky Renforth definitely brings it.
He's hard to beat. A lot of energy.
And with no preparation, he just goes up.
He can tell. He says it too. He says, "I'm going to tell you how it is."
Right.
That being said, I give Vice Admiral Boxell a lot of credit too. His stuff is really good.
All right, so now we got here we have Daniel Evans, United States Army, on the tee, and you can tell he's been working out. Daniel, I've been following some of his posts. He's been going to the gym, and
good.
Yeah, man, he shanked that ball real hard on the weeds. Them water moccasins definitely be afraid of that one. Oh, I'm telling you that swamp is daunting.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
All right, let's see what Alvin can do here.
Just gotta get it over.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Listen, coming back a bit, but I think
yeah.
most of these players at this point just want to get that thing over the creek.
Yeah.
Joe, do you have a preference on the courses out here that when you come out and play? Any one of the nines? Do you have a favorite or?
So, so to be honest, during the hot summer months, you get more of a breeze along the Savannah River on the Palmer course.
Okay.
And I probably play better on the creek, which the player we're looking at now.
Yeah.
The Nicholas, which is on the bluff side, is a lot more hilly.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So. That's a smooth swing.
Yeah,
very smooth.
Right
Looks
he's picking it up right
Picking
away.
it up, yeah.
Should be up in the. Oh, look at this.
Oh, wow.
Great shot.
Yeah, that's first one to hit the green since we've been on air, so that's great.
Looks like that was Rick Vanlingham from the Coast Guard. We'll have Chad Hirschman tee it up next.
So I've been waiting to see if any of our players decided to pick up the new golf trend with two gloves. Right?
After Aaron Rye won the PGA Championship.
That's right,
Maybe not everyone's favorite choice, but he's got an incredible story, much like many of our players here.
Ooh, look at that stance.
Gonna have to hit a big hook, I think.
Yep.
So it looks like he's trying to. You get up there?
I think that. Oh, he hit it.
Too far?
He hit it deep. Oh,
yeah.
no.
That's going to be a long putt.
All right. So, folks, the first third of this green has a significant ridge. And, the flag, pin location here is on the, on the front quarter. That ball there, he's got to come back over a ridge.
Yeah, so he probably topped the ridge and went the other direction.
Correct. Yeah. Definitely hit a great shot for yesterday's pin location.
Oh, look at this. So, he's going to play
out. Danny.
Oh, boy.
Go, boy. Wow. He took a healthy swing with that one.
Yeah, see, I'm picking up.
Yeah.
I'm not playing out of there.
Yeah. I think the caddy's kind of discussing
Yeah,
him.
it's the same thing. Let's come out of here.
That's right.
Joe said there's water moccasins.
That's right. The caddy said, "Look, I got light colored short pants on. I don't want to get them too muddy." And good thing is, Dan Evans is a Green Beret, so being a swamp monkey water, that's home to him.
Just on. All right,
wow,
okay.
Look at that. Go up there.
All right. Just gotta drain the putt, right?
Yeah, he'll probably do it too.
Pray his partner has some trouble putting here. That's another thing, Joe. I think this is one of my favorite events with the caddies that are down here at Champions Retreat.
That's right.
We had Daryl yesterday in our practice round group. What a great guy! Sharing course knowledge with all our players, which was really cool. But then a lot of them, I guess, not only caddy here, but have the opportunity to caddy locally at some of the other premier clubs around here. He mentioned Sage Valley, Old Barnwell, places like that. And so to have caddies like that be out here with our players, just kind of cheering them on,
so
that type of thing is really cool.
Yeah. So this morning I grabbed one of our local club caddies here, Darren Wu.
Yeah.
Darren is a firefighter.
Nice replay here, guys.
During his normal job.
Yeah.
And but he was very fortunate to be the caddy for young gal from the University of Arkansas who won this year's Augusta Women's National Amateur.
Oh, no kidding!
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So he's out there in the field today.
Doing this.
Yeah, caddying for some VGA members.
Yeah, that's so neat, and
yeah,
that kind of goes along with what our president Josh Payton was saying last night at the end of the dinner, the pairings party dinner, which was that to have all these players come down free of charge and be able to walk on a course where such events like the Augusta Women's Am. I mean,
Yep.
even if honestly, Joe, even if the Augusta Women's Am wasn't here, this course is incredible by itself, right? But to have the players kind of get to see what those premier amateur ladies are able to do, and then be able to have the caddies talk it through and stuff like that, it's just
That's
an
right.
awesome experience. All right, this
Oh, okay. Now this is that
has
long
got to be
putt.
what, 45, 50
I was going
feet?
to say about
something
40
like
foot. So it's got to go up and over a ridge, a spine. And of course, the ball's going to curve the whole way.
that. Yeah.
All right. There it goes. Up, over, down,
There, yeah.
deploy shoots.
Yeah, that's
There
right.
we go.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
slow down.
So for the most part, Kevin, even though with a lot of rain, these greens they drain very well.
Yeah,
I don't know if you noticed yesterday they were still rolling about a 10.
yeah,
You
which
know,
was incredible. And
yeah.
and the other thing about the speed is like sometimes you have some rain, slow greens down, and they get a little weird and bumpy.
Hmm.
These were as pure as they get.
Yeah.
Right. Another testament to what the course staff has done here.
That's right. Barry, the club superintendent, and his crew, really putting a lot of work.
All right, for his birdie putt here, this is Rick with the Coast Guard.
Ball's still rolling.
Not bad. Probably have a couple feet come back.
Yeah.
Depends on when his partner is. If his partner's,
Yeah.
oh, he's playing. Okay, Chad. So Chad's got this is a par putt. So
That's right.
pressure's on here for Chad, but could put the pressure back on Rick real quick here with a good par putt. These are the type of putts, Joe, that
Wow.
what I've learned is like expect your partner to make them.
That's right.
Because match play gets that way.
Oh.
All right.
Gosh, it seems like he knew right as soon as he
up,
hit it.
and
He was offline.
Yeah, he conceded it. Okay. So that'll put Rick one up over Chad coming off of this hole. And I guess the other guys conceded. I'm not sure because I don't see them up there.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
Danny
was
Evans.
probably 6 or 7 in. Yeah, so
That's
yeah,
right.
that makes sense. So that'll pull Alton Levine of the Air Force back to one down. So good matches there.
That's right.
All right.
Another great shot of this green. And again, this a daunting little swamp as we've noticed here with the last two groups.
Yeah. And I mean, that's a really nice shot there. You can really see that ridge. Everything feeds it down, to the front on that first third. You're past that. You're looking at.
That's right. And I got a feeling tomorrow that flag's going to be back left. Makes a roller coaster type of approach onto that green, but it makes it fun.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
right.
And gosh, we've had a VGA member make a hole in one on this.
Yeah, I forget when was that?
A couple years ago.
Yep.
That's
right. Yep.
Yeah. So.
No, that hill can really kick things right, and in that front,
right.
Actually in the back too, right? If you just find the hill the right way, it can really help you out. Okay, as those folks move on, the next group that we're going to see is Air Force through 5 over Army's Chris Butler. And then we've got Scott Pachowski of the Marine Corps 1 up over Air Force's William Chappedelaine. Hopefully I said that right. Apologies to anyone who's listening if I mispronounce names. So a lot of things going on here in Augusta too, Joe. We were talking just before we came on air about the work that Augusta National's done with the patch.
That's right.
Augusta Municipal.
That's correct.
And some pretty rave reviews, I guess, in the local community about
it's incredible. Yeah. you know, I tell people, I said they you know, thanks to Augusta National, they've did a complete overhaul facelift of what they're now calling the patch.
Hmm.
And there's a you know, Tiger Woods was involved with the learning center. He designed a par three,
Awesome.
and and the price point obviously is super competitive.
Yeah,
Um,
and the goal
th-
there was to really take care of the Augusta community, right? It's not to
correct.
say that outsiders can't come down and play, but the goal was to keep affordable, good
Golf,
golf for
the
Augusta.
public.
Yeah, here in
That's
Augusta.
right.
That's fabulous.
That's
Yeah,
right.
that's really
You
nice.
know, and you know, so if you're a resident of the adjoining counties to to Augusta, yeah, obviously there's a local rate and then a non-resident local rate or
Yeah,
whatever, you
yeah,
know. And but yeah, for you know, for the folks that are you know, live here, yeah, they've made a phenomenal course. I mean, I tell people, you know, it's incredible. Um, it pretty much the 18th green is shaped
yeah.
just like the 18 at Augusta National.
Really?
You know, yeah, you
Wow.
know, so it's kind of a nice little tribute type of hole. Um, now getting a tee time out there has been you know almost,
Difficult.
yeah, very difficult, non-existent, right? You know, uh, you know, whereas before any of the renovations, you got, gosh, you know what, you're lucky to see, you know, a handful of people out playing. Now it's you know, it's the shiny new toy,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I get it.
you
I get
know,
it.
yep. Y- but you know, there's some other exciting, you know, other new courses going on in the area, but you know, yeah, you still look at Champions Retreat as, you know, host site for the ANWA.
Hmm.
You know, first 2 days for the ladies, and this course plays hard. You know,
Yeah, played harder than Augusta National is for them, right?
correct.
Yeah.
You know, score wise. You know, and so it's good to see that the ownership group here, um, you know, is doing some renovations, and you know, they're not sitting back and just letting the course be as is.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's always making improvements. You know, they're putting, you know, TrackMan system, TrackMan hitting bays, you know, for people to be able to use. And so I will tell you once, as we're sitting here watching this group on this creed, uh,
This is the green that will be coming up. This group will be coming up to the next tee that
that's right.
we'll see him. But yeah,
So,
we're watching them hit.
this is Creek 3, and to me, as far as temperature wise, just something about how it's locked into those trees back in that area. It retains a lot of heat. I mean, it is sweltering, and with this heat and humidity that we've been having, I said, "Gosh, I know those guys are probably, yeah, feeling it."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. One thing we forgot to mention at the start of the broadcast. So we're actually coming on a little bit earlier than we typically do for these events, just because, as Joe mentioned, we've had some weather over the last few days, and we're expecting more weather this afternoon. Um, if the play is suspended by weather and we're unable to restart, so long as the players have gotten through 9 holes of their matches, those will be considered final, and the points will be applied appropriately. Tomorrow, it is looking a little bit better, humid, which is par for the course, but hopefully we'll be kind of more in our standard coverage window on Facebook Live for later in the afternoon. Unlike today, where we did shotgun start, we will actually have tee times. And I believe most of the groups will be picked up from a coverage standpoint on the par three, eighth hole, and potentially the ninth hole. We'll see how things shake out with the matches
Yeah.
over on the bluff side, on the Nicholas side. So
Right.
just
Yeah.
for anyone watching, wanting to know what's happening tomorrow, that's kind of the plan right now.
Yeah. Current look at the radar. Most of the Augusta area is clear,
Good.
but you know, we any potential rains is probably just the pop up thunderstorms, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and if so, they'll just be a quick mover,
Yeah.
you know, just later in the day. But You know, Kevin, you and I have the luxury. We're sitting in a nice air conditioning building.
Mhm.
Just to our left is the 18th green, and um, the sun's still kind of poking out in between some of the clouds, and you know that sun brings out that little bit of ugh,
Okay.
dreaded moist feeling.
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. It's
So
kind of a double whammy. You get
yeah,
the heat from the sun, kind of warming you up while you're playing, but
that's
then
right.
you know that heat's also
Yeah,
fueling any of the thunderstorms that are potentially coming. So,
but you know, for these players, you know, when I was talking to some of them during registration, and you know how many rounds of golf they've played and what states.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, you know, weather like this don't deter them. You know,
No, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they're used to it. You know, and you know, just hats off to each and every single one of them for grinding out. You know, through last year's season to make it here. So
Yeah, speaking of that, as we see one of the Air Force team members step up here, it's going to be Ben Salter taking a crack
oh,
at
that's
this
a
one.
good. That was good. Wow.
Maybe off in the bunker there. Oh, hopefully in the bunker. Too far left, you get in trouble with that creek moving off to the left there.
Yeah. Now you got the confident swagger of Mr. Chris Butler. Chris normally during his normal state level events is rocking these very
Oh, the best.
shiny pants or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, and the shirt too.
Yeah. Okay, that looks like a good
Yeah, they
swing.
look like a good swing.
Very well.
Yeah, it's the mess we've been seeing, but should be fine if he can get it up and down. Scott Patchowski for the Marine Corps coming up next. As he gets ready to swing, Joe, come back to what you said about the amount of travel and how these players got here. First, just as kind of a reminder to everyone who's watching and those who may not know, this event is an event that players get to by accumulating points over the course of a season, and they do that by attending our one-day events hosted across the country year-round. Very lucky to be having that happen with work from people like Scott, who put on one-day events in every state. Good shot there. Should roll a little bit. Yeah, he'll be fine with that. Um, but yeah, as an assistant state director in Pennsylvania, Scott and folks like him are responsible for putting on those one-day events. As you go to those events and you place, you earn points, and then at the end of the year, if you're in the top 8 of the point earners for your branch and your region, you come to a qualifying event, which is very similar to this in terms of the format, match play. So watch William tee off here.
Okay.
The only difference being that at that event, you're competing interbranch among, or, oh, look at that thing roll down. That's
Yeah.
a nice little roll there for William. Against your branch compadres to kind of get here. And then once you're here, then you start to play against the other branches. And those events are 2-day match play events that happen at local qualifying courses in each one of the regions. And then every Memorial Day we're here for this, so that's good. I got a shout out Phil Inman on the South Region team captain. 1,755 points last year, Joe. That is an unbelievable amount of golf. And just for reference sake, if Phil was placing first in all of his events, that's a 15 points. So you all can do the math on that. Just about how many rounds of golf Phil did last year to get here, and obviously we appreciate him
That's
and everyone
right.
else who's been able to do that. But
And he's joined out here with his lovely wife
awesome
and brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Great.
You know, and you know, Mr. Inman is a Vietnam veteran. You know, and it's so neat to see a gentleman like him representing obviously his generation. I introduced him today to a local gentleman that is also a Vietnam veteran, and was looking for more golf with other veterans, you know, and you know, he heard about the VGA at our opening ceremonies. He wanted to come out and just see what it was
Yeah,
about.
fabulous.
Philip took time to come over and talk to him,
Oh, that's great.
and yeah, so that was unbelievable. All right, Chris Butler with a little chip shot up.
Gotta sit.
Ooh, Chris, hold on, hold on. Oh,
There's the double gloves.
double gloves. Look at him.
I mean, sometimes you just got to do it just for the humidity. Like you just can't hold the club. Gets hands get so.
Oh, well, he held the club and then some on that one. He got all of it. Oh, look at this.
Big
Great.
swing on that one. He must have been in an awkward position because that went the wrong direction. But just to get out is probably good enough for him. Have a putt coming back.
Yeah, and we know that's going to be a tricky putt. Wow.
Looks like Scott's going to be next. He's going to need to land this probably a couple feet on the front of the green to get it to go where he wants it to go. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, took a little speed off it there on the fringe, but hey, it's closer to the hole.
As long as you got a putt.
That's right.
If you got a putt, you got a chance. Joe, you mentioned a lot of the work happening here and kind of the iterative approach that Champions Retreat is taking to improving and getting better for next season, which is really cool. And it kind of echoes what we're doing in the VGA as well. We've got a lot of events happening all the time, but we're always looking for new opportunities. And I think this year's highlighted a couple of those with as we watch the putt kind of go by there on the right for looks like Chad. No, who's that? Is that William? That might be William. Yep. Yeah, the member guest, which was the first annual member guest down in Orlando this year, which I thought went
that
really,
was
really
phenomenal.
Well. A lot of fun.
That was. You know, I know it was a lot of work there on the regional directors. You know, putting that on. You know, but gosh, a field of what 300
people.
You know, and getting to meet players who normally don't make it to some of our premier national level events.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is getting harder and harder as the organization grows to over 44,000 members served at this point.
That's right.
Getting to these national events is tougher, but to have something like the member guest available. I know also later in the year we're doing something with the Oconus Cup. We're going to go to Puerto Rico and see the Puerto Rico chapter, which is going to be really fun. And so always looking for ways to kind of enhance the member experience and get more opportunities to play.
That's right. You know, and just a few weeks ago, you know, the Liberty Cup was held up in Liberty National, New Jersey, and that will air on the Golf Channel, a 2-hour special on July 4th.
Yeah,
you
mark
know,
that one.
So, you know, just another high level event, and you know, it's always it's always a nonstop, right? I know Danny Foster, who is our South Regional Director, at the conclusion of this event, he will go home on Thursday, you know, pick up a set of fresh, new, clean underwear and head to Savannah on Friday for South Regional qualifier.
That's right. The region, the senior national championship, right? Qualifier, right?
Yeah, you know, and Kevin, yours is coming up. When?
That's right. Yeah, 2-3 weeks, I'll be in Williamsburg.
Yeah.
Really cool to see all those events sell out as well.
Yeah.
So we've had now four events sell out at 120 people. I think a couple events we pushed a little bit beyond that just because the courses were willing to help us out with that.
Yeah.
So just really cool to see a lot of playing opportunities coming around. I mean, I'm also, Joe, just frankly, I'm seeing it with most of my state directors. I'm sure Danny, Carrie, and Chris would say the same thing. Nice putt there.
Oh, you know, if you can laugh at yourself for leaving it short, but you know, you're going to remember it when you walk back to the cart.
That's right. But yeah, even local events now selling out, waitlisting. So again, trying to increase the playing opportunities as much as we can. Nice putt there.
Oh, look at
Oh,
that thing just curled in. Not, that's the grain for you.
yeah, yeah.
That is Bermuda grass grain. Grip that ball and helped it out a little bit. Gosh darn it, that had to be Air Force. So, I ran into Miss Gina out here today from New Hampshire,
Yeah.
and we had a great little conversation. And in your region, Kevin, we were just talking about this the other week. Got Rhode Island hosting their first state championship. Their
That's right. First single
single
on their own. Yeah.
That's right. Oh, Chris Butler, come on.
Just barely.
God, it's got to be the yellow ball.
Yeah.
It's got to be the yellow. Chris is normally, wearing colorful outfits. So
you can't have it on the shirt. He's got to have it on the ball.
That's right. But Gina, going back, Gina, New Hampshire. Gosh, So I live here, and and I'm seeing the posts from the Northeast, and just some of the courses that y'all are getting online.
Yeah.
Just phenomenal. And I told Gina this morning, I said, I really, really want to try to come up just to visit like the members, Rhode Island as well, and you look in our players handbook today, that we have here, and you see where everyone's from, and and you get to meet them, when they walk on the premises here, and it's really a diverse group of golfers.
It is, Joe.
Yeah.
And like you said, I mean, Gina is a great example. Another volunteer state director who's put in a lot of effort over the last few years
Mm-hmm.
to build a chapter in a place in a part of the country that has a very short golf season.
That's right.
So she's got to be selective on the courses that she works with, all of whom, to my understanding, have been very accommodating, which
That's
is
right.
fabulous. She's got a fabulous state championship lined up this year for anyone who wants to get up there and check that out.
And where is that at, Kevin? Is
I believe it's called Stone Bridge. I have
Okay.
to double check that,
Yeah.
but I know she's super proud to be up there this year.
Yeah.
And to your point, Joe, one of the things that's been really encouraging with certainly my team, but I know this is happening across the country with a lot of the other state director teams, is the coordination across state borders. Like you said, New England, to have a 6 or 7 day event schedule where if members wanted to come up to that part of the country, they have kind of an itinerary that they
That's
can
right.
just drive 3 to 4 hours kind of in a loop and
Yeah.
cover a lot of different golf courses in a short short amount of time,
Yeah.
which is really nice.
So for players who want to experience that, plus, gain points.
Yeah, they're chasing the Armed Forces Cup. Absolutely.
Yeah, that plays well into that. So I saw like there's a course, Mount Washington, that's on one of your listings, and gosh, it's an incredible looking venue.
Yeah.
So
It's funny. New England in particular is blessed with tons of incredible courses, right? The problem is we're always battling the demand up there, right, with their short season.
That's right.
But like I said, it's just another opportunity for me to give kudos to those directors, Ed in Rhode Island, Mike in Massachusetts. Now we've got Stephen, excuse me, coming on in Vermont, new Vermont state director. Really excited and motivated to get that up and running. And honestly, he's taking cues from some of those other state directors like Gina about, hey, this is what's worked, this is what isn't. And so a lot of good information sharing and collaboration happening, which is really nice.
No, that's great.
Yep.
That's great. But it's just amazing how quick things happen during our playing season.
Yeah.
Right. I know you guys are about to start going down the busy schedule of getting folks qualified up for the national championship this year, which will be in later on in the fall, back at Fallen Oak and Biloxi, Mississippi.
Love that location.
It
One of
is
the better courses we visit as well.
That's right, and and they're fantastic venue, always very friendly to the VGA. It's hosted a Champions Tour event there, each year. So obviously it's a venue very well worthy of a championship style tournament. But yeah, and then gosh, yeah, you know, here midsummer we'll do the senior championship.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
it is. I mean,
yeah,
you're right. We are really getting into the meat of the schedule, right? Because technically our season ends in August, right? So we've
mm,
got to get through the senior national championship qualifying, all of the state championships that need to happen between now and the end of July, and then the regional championships, which will happen mostly in August
that's
into the
right.
beginning of September.
That's right.
So yeah, a lot of golf to be played.
So I don't know if I should if I should name this player, but so okay, so I'll tell the story, but I won't name the player.
Okay.
But I got to visit them in their home state. They're from the Midwest, and this player was using some of his military background, analytics, and brings me into his office, and he's got this whiteboard, more than one, and
Oh boy, I know where this is going.
and a calendar and 3 ring binders, right? So now he's got rosters of players, that are in his flight, aka his competition. He's got a map on the wall and a whiteboard with with points and so basically, I mean, he's got this talk, right, or this war room set up
Yeah.
on,
Talk's a good word for it. You go
yeah,
back to our military days,
yeah,
right?
set up to um, schedule his VGA tournaments, his own turn appearances, and then also what his competition and his flight's doing, right? And you know, to me, I was like, man, I can't say he's going overboard because he made a goal.
Yeah.
He wants to play in the Armed Forces Cup,
Yep.
and this is how is he going to get there, right? He's got to match his competition. He's got the points, and I was like, wow, he went all in.
Yeah, he did. I mean, we're laughing here a little bit because it's humorous, on one hand to have someone that engaged. At the same time, Joe, it's also really really cool, right?
It
It's
is,
a testament to what the VGA has become through all of the hard work that you referenced earlier, not only
yeah,
by the staff but by you and Josh, right? It's a testament to that player,
yeah,
right? Who
yeah.
a lot of the feedback that we get is. Um, that beyond the competition, what the VGA has done for folks is give them purpose in some capacity,
That's right.
whether it's to get out and meet new people, whether it's to get out and better themselves as human beings, right?
Yeah,
And to be a part of of this organization and see that happen on a daily basis and see it culminate with an event like this where yeah, listen, we are asking players to be competitive and represent their branches and take a lot of pride in their branches. But after the jokes are aside and things like that, be able to shake hands and sit down and, have a meal together, have a drink together and reminisce about good and bad shots and establish hopefully what are lifelong bonds it's just the best. It's the best thing there is,
that's right.
So,
That's right.
um,
And and for me, gosh, it's almost embarrassing to say. I've only played 2 rounds of golf here at Champions Retreat this year, and more is just more like either a charity function, and then the practice round yesterday.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you know,
yeah.
um, uh, I think people would probably think, you and I, like our VJ president Josh Payne, we would play a lot of golf, and unfortunately, unless it's revolving around business or having, entertain sponsors,
Mhm.
we're just kind of busy doing other things, trying to be family men ourselves,
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
And
Yeah.
um, so it's neat to see the posts on our Facebook and our VJ members pages and whatnot, of what the players are doing, and I'll tell a little story. So you know. Last year, I get contacted from an old hunting buddy of mine who works as a big dealer over in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, for these big RV lots, and because a gentleman drove all the way down from North Carolina, he wanted to buy a new RV because him and his wife they're going to travel around playing the VGA, and my friend goes, "Oh, really?" He goes, "A friend of mine's a co-founder of the VGA," and yeah, these people drove from another state to the big RV center with the purpose of joining the golf gypsy bandwagon of the VGA. And I say that because we have multiple players that do this.
It's way more than you would think.
And
it's way more than you would
yeah,
think.
hats off to them for for doing that. When Josh and I we coming up with ideas on starting the VGA. I would have never thought that someone's actually gonna go like, hey, go camping in an RV outside golf courses to play, but it's neat to see, and just this morning sitting there on some of the rocking chairs outside, and you have some of the wives who are here with their husbands, and they all have stories, and and the wives are talking, and that's neat.
It is cool. It is cool. That reminds me along those lines. I mean, to your point, Joe. When you pull up to the parking lot and you see 6 or 7 Sprinter vans.
Yes.
Some of them say VJ New York. Some of them say VJ Wisconsin. Right. Like, it's kind of a little bit of a pinch me moment, right? To see how, like we said earlier, how far things have come in that regard. It's also really cool to hear the stories from players who have decided to do that. And what I hear from them is beyond the golf, playing tons of great golf. It's like, man, I've seen parts of the country, met people I would have never expected I would have gotten to meet in my lifetime.
That's right.
Right. And I think of former West Region Director Jerome Moore and his family picking up after finishes his career and jumping into an RV that they towed right behind a dually, and drove all over the country, played all over the tons of VGA events, met tons of people, ended up down here in the South in Alabama, and playing a lot of golf now. So I hope they're doing well too.
That's right.
All right, so we got a group here coming up, which will be Captain Phil Inman's going to be in this group. Looks like you're watching him putt right now. Actually,
right.
He's 3 up over Coast Guard's Todd Rourke, and then Steve Martinez for the Marine Corps, who looks like he's getting ready to put his ball down, 2 up over the Navy's Tracy Brown. So we'll watch them come off the 3rd hole here and then come over to the par 3. Probably take a quick break after that. Come back for a few more minutes of coverage and wrap up the day.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see Tracy Brown, United States Navy. He's been here before.
Yes.
He's had some experience in it, and I welcomed him back the other night. And he said, "Hey, it's a lot harder getting back in here."
Yeah. I'll tell you. I think don't get me wrong. There's a ton of pressure here. But I get to see the pressure of the qualifying event, and for me, my event's usually in October, later in the season, in Pennsylvania, so it can be a bit cold and things like that. I mean, the grind that those people, the players put there is just as hard, I would say.
That's right.
It's a good putt there, it looks like.
Yeah. Kevin, you hosting that at the Outdoor
Country Club? Yeah.
Oh, man, what a phenomenal location.
It's been really nice. I don't know if they would tune in or not, but I would shout them out every day. I mean, they've been such a gracious host for us. Really kind of letting us have the course at the end of their season.
Yeah.
It's always in phenomenal shape, and it's about as central as we can get. For the relationship that we have, right? Like they really do go out of their way to take care of us, and we.
Not only that, you're talking about how great the course is, and it looks easy, it plays medium hard. What you get is out in front of you. So for what you're using it for a qualifier, it is perfect. Right.
Yep. There's nothing.
No quirkiness.
No quirking it.
Yeah.
Exactly right. There's nothing to make the players grumble, right? And they're getting it in the fall, so it's like I said, it's usually in really, really nice shape. Greens are in true, and to have the course to ourselves, especially for that second day, as the players try to get that final match sealed up so they can get here is really great. And I'm sure the other regional directors will say the same thing about their host courses, not only for that event, but really any of the championship qualifiers that we have to host.
That's right.
Are that way. So.
So how are we looking on the leaderboards?
Yeah. So we'll see what the update here comes through. But Phil Inman, like I said earlier, 3 up currently over Todd Rourke of the Coast Guard. Steve Martinez, 2 up over Tracy Brown. And again, they're probably going to enter scores here, so that may update here in a second. Generally speaking, looks like we've got the Army team up in 5 matches total right now. Let me double check that. Yep. Let's see. Coast Guard is up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches as well. Team Air Force is up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matches. And Team Navy is up in 2 matches. Looks like. And then, what did I say? Coast Guard is up in 5 matches. So this is kind of what we typically see, Joe. I like a lot of distribution early on, right?
Okay, we want Army points. No, I'm just joking.
Now look, Army's
Yeah.
up. Army's up in 5.
Yeah.
Marine Corps up in 3.
Wow.
Yep. Navy's up in 2. Up in 1. Sorry. That just changed. So the scores are rolling in here. And just as a reminder for everybody, both this live stream and our live scoring is available on Facebook all day. So you guys can tune into that. Air Force is up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the Coast Guard is up in 5. So, yeah, I mean, pretty tight matches.
That's good.
Down here. And looks like Tracy's going to lead off for the Navy team, so I'm guessing he maybe won that last hole, maybe getting him a bit closer in his match. Yep, looks like he got the match back down to 2. So funny, Joe. Like with this camera angle, looks like he's aiming so far to the right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems to be the.
So it's kind of like a little bailout, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like
yeah.
I know the hill's going to move it down, and like I said, in firmer years, it does that. That ball is moving down the hill, but I think the players are realizing that even yesterday with the additional rain that we got last night, it's just so soft out there.
And maybe this camera angle, going dead at the flag, you've got to be able to get it on the green. Otherwise, it's going back in that bunker.
Yep. All right, Steve Martinez from the Marine Corps team. There we go.
There we go.
Good shot there.
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice shot. Probably 20 feet on that one. But yeah, that's only the third one we've seen on the putting surface so far.
That's right. Yeah, don't be afraid to make divots, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice shot there.
Looks like he's coming.
Yep, off to the right too. So a little bit of a bailout maybe, but again, if the short game can help him out, that's really not a bad miss. I think people prefer over there than in that trap, like you said, or certainly farther left gets so dangerous. All right, last up is going to be Phil. He's going to move up a tee box.
All right. People can learn a lot from watching this man play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I bet.
He,
methodical.
Exactly. So he calls it boring golf, but you know what? It scores a lot, very well for him.
He was giving Danny Foster a hard time the other day about that. He was like, "Hey, you can come out and play me." Danny's like, "No way." And Danny's about as methodical as they get.
That's right. Danny's got a handicap just a little bit better than a slug. I tell Danny, I said,
Good shot there.
I just don't understand. It's as much as golf as he plays, he coaches kids' high school team, right? He maintains a 36 handicap. Or where's it at now, Kevin?
Yeah, might not be that high.
The
But
VGA maximum.
yeah, giving him a hard time.
Yeah, you know, but yeah, you know what though? I will say this, you know, Danny coached his son. His son has played in the family member division.
Yeah,
Yeah, and has won a national title. You know, and for
pretty awesome.
How neat is that? You know,
It's awesome. Yeah.
The first thing his son said was, "Thanks, Mom." Shout out to Tammy Foster. You know,
Yeah.
So interesting how watching the players in the last several groups, everyone's using the bailout area to the right, short of the green, and putting their way up, and they're still struggling on some putts.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, we'll watch Tracy here, but
Tracy decided to go with kind of a long chip shot here. So
yep, this is good. This is tough, and what we've seen is the miss here is typically too long, right? Because once it hits the green, it really wants to start moving. So we'll see what Tracy can do. I think he is probably aiming in the right space, which is kind of off to the right here, and hopefully let it come down. That might turn out pretty good. Yeah, it's a good shot.
Okay.
Shot from Tracy. As we watch Tracy come up here, we'll bring in President of the VGA, Josh Payton, has joined us. Josh,
hey guys, what's going on?
Hey, good to see you. Good to see you.
I saw Philip Inman coming up. You know, heard a story at our ring ceremony last night that you know, he's a Vietnam vet, and he never got he never got welcomed back from Vietnam, and last night was the first time that he felt welcome.
Really?
Yeah, wow. That was pretty powerful.
That's very powerful. And Josh, we were talking a little bit about that before you joined us, about how every year, every time we come to these events, what is kind of a consistent theme, especially among the players who are giving us feedback, is the ability for them to reconnect with people who maybe they haven't seen for a while, but in players like Phil's case, guys who served at a time when maybe the military wasn't viewed the way it is today, to be around a group of people who embraces them and loves them and treats them with respect and honor that they deserve, and to have that continue to grow across the country, and what the VGA has become is it's unbelievable, honestly. Probably the best part of the organization.
Yeah, they're pretty powerful stories, and I think Phil is up 3. Oh my gosh, look at this!
Look at this
he's fixing to be up
again.
Yeah, look at that smile.
How great is that?
Yeah, that's probably a 40 foot or 50 foot putt there from Phil.
That's not an easy hole, boys.
No, it is not. Yeah, we've seen the variety of shots here. There you go, and that's the type of stuff we like to see right there. It's just the handshakes from the fellow competitors. Incredible.
They had the pin placement on the back side of the green yesterday, and I had about a 40-yard putt, and I had to come up over the ridge and went a little right to left, and before my putt was finished, I needed a 56-degree wedge from my caddy. It was not fun.
All right, so this is going to be Steve Martinez, currently one up in his match over Tracy Brown, putting for, I believe this is birdie putt.
Yeah, Steve, get in there.
Go.
Oh, man, he hit that hard.
Yeah, he did. He went after it.
He's a returning member from the 2022 Marine Corps squad that won it down in Pinehurst #2.
That's right. We call it
first year, right?
Yep.
Yeah, first year.
Yep, first squad. Yeah. Here's another one that said it was a lot of work getting back here. You know, so same comments from Tracy.
Yep. All right, Tracy looking to get himself up and down. Put some pressure back on Steve for his comebacker.
Ooh.
Oh. How many times have we seen
I
that?
feel that, yeah.
That emotion.
Joe, you live down here. When we were coming down from Pinehurst, the weather did not look good.
Oh.
The forecast was pretty rough for this week, and it's been kind of interesting. The it's almost like there's just enough window in the weather that you can play
Let's get the golf
18 holes.
Yeah.
And then when the golf is over, the downpours start.
That's right. That's right.
Fingers crossed that just keeps happening.
Yes.
Please let us get these matches in.
That's right. We were looking at the radar earlier, and looks like most of the radar is clear. We'll probably start getting some pop-up showers in the afternoon, which is very typical. They're starting to burst up a little bit, but
how about this putt, boys?
Yeah.
Wow.
Incredible. And it thinks for a second, but it goes.
While I'm on here, I just I'm not sure who we have listening out there, who's coming in live, but I want to take a moment to recognize all of our state and assistant state directors that volunteer for this organization that really, without their efforts, none of this would be possible. None of these players that had collected all the points that they've earned throughout the year and all the travel that they've sacrificed to try to get to this point. Over 300 volunteers across this country. I just wanted to tip my cap to you, especially on Memorial Day weekend, and say thank you for all of your efforts for this organization. It truly is changing lives through your efforts. And had several of our Armed Forces Cup players come up to me last night and just thank us for what we're doing, and really the boots on the ground are all the state and assistant state directors. So thank you guys for everyone who's listening.
Josh, we were saying earlier, I think we were talking about the points earning to get to this event, and we mentioned Phil with his 1,755 points, which broke the previous year's record by, I think, upwards of 400 points, maybe 300, something like that. And when I had a chance to talk to Phil, one of the first statements was the amount of golf that he played and the amount of experiences that he had, like you just said, Josh, were all partly driven by all those leaders that you just referenced, which was really cool. So it's cool to see that theme kind of continue to just, spread itself around, branch around, hear it from different people.
Yep.
Yeah, I talked to another sergeant major paratrooper, older gentleman that was from Idaho, and he was talking about how they were excited. He's from the eastern part of Idaho, and he was basically adopted by Utah, and played in a bunch of events there, played in Wisconsin and Montana and North Dakota, and he's made his rounds in order to get to this spot. But
awesome.
He had I think he said he had over 600 jumps.
Holy moly.
He said he
Goodness gracious.
he was a centurion by the time he was an E5.
Wow.
And I was telling him I had 50 jumps. I spent most of my time in the 82nd, but 50 jumps was 49 too many. I couldn't imagine jumping that many times. He said, his legs have held up, thankfully, and
Yeah.
It feels good. And he was excited to go out and put a point on the board for Army today. So best of luck to all the players.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Josh, we were talking about earlier, right after this Armed Forces Cup, our regional directors, our state directors, obviously going to be rolling into qualifiers. State championships, senior championship, and just the sheer number of events coming up in a short amount of time. So.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed. This is the first senior championship that I'm going to miss this year, unfortunately. but the senior event. I mean, I can remember when we did the first senior championship, and that was at Dormy Club, and I think we had we didn't have any regional qualifiers for that event, and like 83 people showed up, and it's grown a lot more now. And last year, we try to make things better every year. Last year, we increased the number of seniors from 4 that advanced to our national championship to 8. And I believe it's 2 in each flight. So the overall champ, and then the person that comes in second place. I think a lot of members are, they're kind of armchair quarterbacks a little bit, and they kind of wonder, why we can't have senior state championships and things along those lines. And really, at the end of the day, it boils down to a capacity issue at our national championship. We first started our national championship at Pinehurst number 2, 2015. We had 82 players, which I thought was, at the time, it was symbolic because, I spent a lot of time in the 82nd. I was commander in the 82nd, and 82 has it's a number that I love. So 82 players the first year. Interestingly enough, the first year we didn't have a family division. And so as we've grown the organization, we've tried to, like I said, make it better each year. I couldn't be more proud that this year, all of our capstone level events, our national championship, our Liberty Cup, which we just hosted at Liberty National in Jersey City, New Jersey, and our Armed Forces Cup is free to those players that qualify. And Joe, that we had that goal from day one, but that wouldn't have been possible without all the players that have participated in in the last 5 years in the Armed Forces Cup to get that tournament off the ground and to prove its viability to our sponsors and and to the host courses that that graciously open their doors to us.
That's right.
I would say that the Liberty Cup, at Liberty National, what a treat that was for our players to get to go to a facility that was $150 million facility, and it's $1.5 million to get into that facility, and there's like a 3-year waiting list for their members, and for them to open their doors and roll out the red carpet for our players a couple of weeks ago. I hope they truly understand how lucky we are as an organization to have partners like that. It's the same thing here at Champions Retreat. The fact that our players are playing on the same golf course that hosts the Augusta National Women's Amateur Qualifier, and to see the amount of effort Mike Reimer and his staff, Barry, the superintendent here, and his team, the amount of pride that they put into this golf course to make it, tournament ready for our players is unbelievable.
That's right. That's right. And have the course for the whole course for the day. That's remarkable. And it's funny, you go back to our very first national championship, the 82 members that showed up to Pinehurst Resort. I always tell people how nervous I was because I remember we were in the back unboxing 82 golf bags, and and my thought was like, gosh, I hope 82 people show up because we can't return them because they've got their names embroidered on them, and but just the look on the faces from that first group to ever come into the ballroom, it never gets old because I make a point of seeing the players when they come in to our national championships to at registration much like the registration here, to see the look on their faces, the excitement on their eyes, so it's always
Yeah, you
great.
talk about the golf bags at the first national championship. I didn't even know if the golf bags were going to show up. We ordered golf bags, and we had ordered them from China, and they're relatively cheap. And I was like, man, I can't wait till our players get to see the bags with their names embroidered on them. And but at that point in time, we didn't have the shipping bill, and the shipping bill was like $19,000, and we didn't have it. And so I asked Joan to get me the emails for David Abney, who was the CEO of UPS at the time, and for Fred Smith, who was the CEO of FedEx. And so I put them both on an email, and I said, gentlemen, we're hosting our first ever national championship for veterans in Pinehurst in 2 weeks. And we've got 82 golf bags that are stuck in China. We can't pay for them. Which one of you are going to step up first? And I hit send. And realistically, I never thought I would hear back from that email. And about 2 hours later, David Abney, the CEO from UPS, responded and said, Josh, don't worry about it. UPS has got them. And so
Awesome.
I'll never forget this, man. Like we got bags for David Abney and also for Fred Smith of FedEx. And so when those bags made it to Pinehurst, and those players were super happy that they got their bags, we ended up shipping Fred Smith his golf bag to the FedEx headquarters in Memphis via UPS. And so a couple of weeks later, I got the email back from Fred Smith. He said, Josh, thank you so much for the beautiful bag. Hate the way it got here.
But it got there.
It got there.
Yeah.
Which is kind of surprising, Fred Smith was a United States Marine, and so I thought we'd probably hear back from him first. But that's just like one of the thousands of stories of hurdles that this organization has gone through to get to this point right here.
That's right. Another chip shot. Yeah. I'm telling you, Kevin, this green is very. I mean, temperature-wise, it retains the heat. Yeah, it retains the heat.
Looks like they're standing on the sun.
So
we've had a few minutes there. Just give an update. This group should be Army's Paul Flake, who's currently 2 up over Navy Captain Michael Hughes, and then the Marine Corps' Nakia Gray is 1 up over Navy's Eric Kerdroff. I'm sure I messed that up, but sorry, folks. We'll see them up here on RT here in a minute. You can kind of see that we're putting here. That looks like our Team Army, yeah?
That's correct.
Yeah, Paul, that's Paul.
I'm pretty sure that's is that not an Air Force guy?
No, that's Paul, right? With the black and the gray? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wiping the sweat off there. That's the Marine Corps. So
it's better than umbrellas.
That's right. That's true.
That's right.
It's kind of interesting. A lot of these caddies have gotten really close with our organization, and they really look forward to caddying for our members out here during the Armed Forces Cup.
Yeah.
But if you get a chance to talk with some of the caddies, a lot of them are enlisted by the amateurs during the Augusta National Women's Am.
Yep.
And they have some pretty cool stories about that.
Yeah. So this morning I grabbed Darren Wu, and I was telling Kevin and some of the listeners earlier. So Darren was on the bag for the young lady that won the ANWA this year, and guess what? He's out in the field caddying with our group today.
It's incredible.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Full-time fireman. And
in Augusta, Joe?
Over at Savannah Riverside.
Okay.
And but he enjoys the event. He like he was telling me, he goes, "Gosh, he's got to meet a lot of great VGA members, and obviously some of our invited guests as well." So
It's really cool to listen to Super Bowl champion Coach Cam Cameron talk to the guys last night. And what he relayed to them was that he was the lucky one for being able to be around these players over the last couple of days, and how it's changed his life just by being here, which is pretty cool.
It was also cool that that story he told about Ray Lewis, yeah. And I think that echoed really nicely with some of these players. I know we have, a few returning players for like Team Coast Guard, for example, who, last year lost kind of right at the end, right? Maybe a tough loss, but maybe that loss was what they needed to persevere this year, right?
Right.
So hopefully we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, and he was talking about Ray Lewis, and they came back from losing to the New England Patriots in a really, really tough Super Bowl. Whoever's going to win that match is going to make it to the Super Bowl, and they lose it on a missed field goal in the last couple of seconds, and they get back into the men's locker room, and they're all got their heads down, and Ray Lewis tells them to get up, let's huddle up. He goes, this is exactly what we needed to get us where we need to be, because God is never wrong. And I thought that was a pretty poignant statement. And then Coach Cam's talking about the next year, they relied on on the leadership of Ray to win a Super Bowl. And I think you're right, Kev. I think that echoed with our players.
Yeah. I mean, and that's one of the just another point with these events, right, Josh and Joe, is like, yes, the players are here to golf and they love the competition, but the exposure that they get to Super Bowl champions like Cam Cameron or Coach Urban Meyer, who's been here for the last few years, giving similar speeches, right? Trying to talk them through not only the appreciation that they have for us, but the appreciation that we give back has been incredible. And Josh, we were saying earlier, I think kind of an underrated but favorite moment for everyone is the honorary captain speeches that come at night. Those are always really, really fun to watch, and encourage people to get out there and get on the Facebook live stream and watch those, because they're a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think it's, for the most part, I retired as a captain and Joe retired as a captain. And, you don't get an opportunity to, as a soldier, very often to rub elbows with flag officers.
Only if you do something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And, I think it's really cool that these generals and admirals take the time every year to come out and support these men and women that are, trying to win the cup for their branches. It was really cool at the Liberty Cup to watch the admirals and generals going out there, and and they could have been doing a lot of different things, but they were out there leading their teams from the front.
They were, yeah.
The guys are doing that out here today too, and it's a cool thing to see, and I think the players hopefully they enjoy that.
Ooh. Oh my goodness!
Go in the hole.
Oh
wow, that's Nakia Gray for Team Marine Corps.
Wow,
two good shots. There we go. There are some high fives. Yeah,
right.
I'd like to see.
You can make him putt it.
Maybe. Good question.
I think you always got to make him put
That's
birdie
right.
putts.
Yeah.
Birdie putts.
Yeah, that's right.
Birdie putts got to go in.
Ooh, great shot. That's one of those that he's going to remember being here. So.
Yep, that's right.
And if he doesn't, he can come back and watch the live stream.
That's right. You can watch the replay.
That's right.
We'll probably get a replay of that one here in a second.
Looks like Michael for the Navy team will be next. Navy captain.
Team captain, yeah, he's man, he is a ray of sunshine, man. You just get around this guy, and you know, he is Mr. Positive.
It's awesome.
And I think that's kind of one of the things, one of the themes. I think you can kind of get too wrapped up in the competition, and not really focus on just the opportunity to be around new friends,
Yeah.
new
Interesting
connections,
people. Yeah.
and we talk about this a lot, but the VGA really is more about the camaraderie than it is the competition, right? And he kind of, I think he kind of has embodied that this week here for the Navy squad.
That was a point that Joe and I were talking about earlier, Josh, which is some of what you referenced earlier is how we've been able to grow and get better. The member guest, right? Or the Oconus Cup or other things like that, where the focus is getting people together in a competitive environment. Nothing as stressful as this has also been equally as really cool to see, right? And how those have worked out.
The Oconus Cup, we're doing that for the first year down in Puerto Rico. We had it scheduled for Cabo in Mexico, and obviously with some of the geopolitical things that are going on down there right now, we didn't feel that it was particularly the safest point in time to bring 40 service members down to Mexico. And it's about that same time that I got an opportunity to go down.
There's a replay.
Here we go.
Yeah, for Nikki, yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
He was like, oh, yeah.
Man, only thing missing was a club twirl.
Yeah.
Boy, we're good. Look at there.
What a shot. What a shot. Anyway, Josh, you were saying about the Oconus.
Yeah, no, I got a chance to go down there and meet the team down in Puerto Rico, and they just started that chapter a couple of years ago, and man, it's grown really quickly, and
over 200, right?
Yeah.
200, yeah.
And I told kind of the same thing in Hawaii several years ago. That if they got over 200 members, that I would come out and check out their operation and come out there to support them. And man, the team in Puerto Rico just did an incredible job.
And it's incredible too, Josh, that you have a lot of players stateside that fly out to Puerto Rico.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Look forward to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think actually a contingent from state directors from New England make it like a yearly.
Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna grab Airbnb and go down there together and just see that group and play some nice courses in Puerto Rico. All right, Michael. Let's see if we can drain this putt.
Yeah, we've seen putts from that area most of the morning, and they've always gone long.
Yeah, long and left. Yeah, that hill pushes them down.
Yeah, so I got a chance to go down to Puerto Rico, and Tony Chania, and I got a chance to play with Tony and Chewy, Pachico, and about the same time we were trying to find some courses to shift to Oconus Cup, and Tony was like, "Why don't you bring the Oconus Cup down to Puerto Rico? We'd love to have you." And so if Tony's out there listening, thanks for all your help with that.
I have some really cool courses lined up down there. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Got the Wyndham online too, which is really cool.
Yep.
So. Should be a tap in here for par. Yep. Nice par there.
Yeah, I'll never forget. Tony was like, he goes, "Wait until you get to hole 12." I said, "What's happening on hole 12?" He said, "Oh, we've got a Puerto Rican barbecue." I said, "What is that?" And he said, "Oh, we're barbecuing a pig." And man, when we got to hole 12, that might have been one of the most succulent, best tasting pigs I've ever had in my life. It was so good.
That's awesome.
They had the skin, they had the pork skins. And, oh man, it was fantastic.
What kind of sauce they use down there for that, Josh?
No, it's kind of strange. Like they didn't really have sauces for it.
Okay.
I think they just kind of use spices.
Okay.
Great putt.
Great putt
swirl.
there.
Yeah.
Looking up, saying a prayer there.
But that wasn't, really the point is that's something that Tony didn't have to do, and a lot of our state directors and assistant state directors, they just go above and beyond for our members and because they love it. And, and that's kind of going back to like, the team captain for Navy's attitude, right? To having a positive attitude and being around some people that he might have not have normally met. We talked about, the loss of Bryce Heaton last night, and he was a team captain for the Coast Guard team, and
nice birdie there.
That's a great birdie.
Yep.
And I know the Coast Guard team is missing Bryce and all the people that who all the players in the VGA who cross paths with Bryce. He was just a special guy, and without the VGA, none of us would have ever met Bryce and come across paths with him. And, so I thought that was really nice when Admiral Day, did a salute to Bryce last night.
All right. So just as we wait for the next group to finish up on hole 3 here, we will have one more group come through before we conclude our coverage for today. That'll be Army's Robert Cerverus and Coast Guard's Justin Knudsen. Currently, Robert's 1 up through 8 there. And then Air Force Scott Hoffman and Navy's Jordan Daniel are who we will see come through next. Just in a general update, coming back to the scoreboard, we've got the Army team currently ahead in 6 matches.
Ouch.
We've got the Marine Corps team currently ahead in 6 matches. So they are tied at 6. Air Force team, the Navy team is up in 1 match. The Air Force team is up in 5 matches. And the Coast Guard team is up in 5. So
wow,
tight race so far, folks. Navy's got a little bit of work to do, but Joe, as you and I were talking about earlier, tons of golf to be played, and
that's right. And as we have seen in the last 2 years, no lead
is safe.
That's right.
That is right.
So about halfway through today, and looks like we've got weather coming in the next hour and 45 minutes or so.
Yeah. So we've got most of the matches through 9, which is good.
And I think it's important for the viewers to understand that given the inclement weather, internally we've made a rule that the matches must get through 9 holes before they're considered official.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, thankfully it looks like that's going to be the case for just about every group. I think we've got one group who maybe just is behind on some Golf Genius entry, because every other group, as far as I can tell, is through 9. So looks like we've got a solid scores for at least for today, especially if we have a pause in play, which is good.
Joe's got the radar up, and it's looking relatively dry, but it's kind of popping up sporadically around us. I don't know if there's a halo effect going on or something, Joe, but someone's keeping us dry.
That's right.
Yeah, could get lucky here. Could get lucky.
All right, Kevin. Here we go. First tee shot up.
Yep. This looks like Justin Knudsen's going to tee off for the Coast Guard. That looks like a little bit of a pull. Stay out of those bunk. Yeah, it's gonna be in the trap. We've seen folks get up and down from there.
That's right.
So not the end of the world. Probably not what he wanted, but he can get up and down from that.
Yeah, we were coming in on Bluff 9, which is hole 18 for the course, the Nicholas 9 on this side. And I was telling Coach Cameron yesterday, I said, look, he had a good drive, and he was setting up for his second shot. I said, Coach, can't pull it left on this hole. There's water left. And he swung back and hit a big bass right in the middle of the lake. And but this hole is very, very similar. You can't be left on this hole.
Not at all. Yeah.
Really what you want to do is you want to be about 20 feet right up on the hill, and it'll roll next to the pin if you hit it right.
If Robert's going to take that advice, that's the direction looks like he's going. Maybe run out there.
So watch this.
Yep.
See that?
There you go.
He heard you.
Hey,
Team Army.
Listen.
Mind meld.
Unfortunately, my golf ball never listens to me, Kev.
Yeah. Yeah. The line's right at the cameraman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Let's see. This has got to be. Can't see the hat. Might be Scott. Yeah, that's Scott. Scott Hoffman for Team Air Force. The air.
High one. Yep.
Ooh,
nice shot there.
Okay.
Great shot.
Yep.
He'll be pleased with that.
Blow the hole, give him an uphill putt. I've seen a few of those relieved. Thank goodness I'm over this junk in front of me. Finally, we got Jordan Daniel here teeing off.
Little tug.
Yeah.
Catch a peek.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. See?
Not bad.
Just the way he drew it up.
Yeah.
Right. He played the slice there.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, see? I meant to do that.
As Joe would say, that was a buttercut.
Right.
This looks like one of those holes that Joe Cayley would get a pop on from the red tees from about 99 yards.
I'm not going to lie. Myself and Chairman Bob Peel took advantage of the course conditions and the yardages during our play. Yeah, we stuck it to the course.
Nice. That's good.
I think we were playing in the members guest, and Joe had like a 99-yard shot on a par
Was
3
that here?
down in Orlando.
Oh, Orlando, yeah.
Yeah, we were.
He was getting a pop.
Yeah.
And he hit it like sunny side up in the bunker about 80 yards ahead of us. I couldn't believe it.
I don't have a club for that distance. And I hate that hole. And of course, what do you guys do? You use that course for the member guest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which one was it? Which one was it down there? Was it the reunion one or the
Champions Gate?
Champions Gate.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
and we had like a 12-stroke lead going into the final day, and then I didn't show up at the golf course, unfortunately, Joe. My apologies.
Yeah. Believe me, I still hear it from members.
They think that we changed it on purpose.
They're the greatest collapse in all the sports.
Which actually isn't true. We had a combat wounded vet back in, I want to say it was 2017, 2018, and we were in New Jersey, and he had like a 20-stroke lead after day one.
Oh.
And man, we were right outside Atlantic City. I'm trying to think of the name.
Seaview Resort.
Seaview Resort. That's right. And they played like the Spotlight or the Spotlight.
ShopRite.
ShopRite. That's it.
LPGA.
ShopRite Championship there.
Yeah.
And somehow he lost a 20-stroke lead in day 2, and it went down. It went down to a sudden death playoff, and he lost it.
Oh. Yeah, it's like we said, like
you're never out of it.
No, you're not. And I have these conversations with guys, coming in like, oh, I went and played a couple of rounds beforehand. I'm not striking it well. I'm like, hey man, you got to put that out of your brain. You got, it's putts like this that
Mhm.
that'll get you back
Get
in.
right
It's
back in.
it's hole by hole,
That's
right?
right.
You'd be surprised at how a made putt, like what we saw from Phil earlier, right,
Yes.
can shift momentum in a match and
Yep.
change the dynamic. So, yeah, you just got to keep your head up, keep grinding.
You see it in a lot of our regional level events where they're 2-day events, and after day one, there's a big lead, and there may have been an exceptional scoring policy that may had to come into effect or something
Put
like
there.
that. Oh,
There's a
Drained it.
birdie.
yeah.
That's a good one. It's good.
Mr. Excitement on the tee box, right? Wow. Yeah, meant to do that. Had it in the bag all day.
Yeah.
But you see, some of the players come into the clubhouse and their head, they may be 7-8 strokes back and their heads are hanging low, and they want to talk some smack on social media or something like that. And you know, I think the message here is that you're never out of it. So
Nope.
don't ever give up.
Yeah. Don't give up. That's absolutely right.
Keep your head held high and play as hard as you can, because you never know what's going to happen.
That's right. Yeah. Control what you can control and don't worry about the rest. Do that, you'll take care of it. Yeah, even that right there, we just saw 2 shots where the tee shot felt like maybe a miss, and that ended up okay, and then you can a birdie putt, right? So, yeah. Well, cool.
A lot of members opting to wear those red, white, and blue squares.
The squares, that's just such a cool addition. More part of the gifts that the players get for being here as we see our final group walk off the hole here.
That's right.
Yeah, just so neat. And here that's a really good angle of that birdie
Yes.
putt. He doesn't think it's going in.
No.
Was he the only one that made birdie on this hole?
Yeah, the only one. Yeah. Yeah.
But I saw that, that sportsmanship right there, where the Army guy had a 8-inch or 12-inch putt right there. And like, again, if you're so focused on the competition and you miss the camaraderie piece of the VGA, you might make him putt that 8-incher or the 12-incher or, so it's great to see the sportsmanship piece of this, and them shaking each other's hands and congratulating each other, and they're really rooting on each other.
Yeah.
So
a lot of smiles when across the board, right? When someone hits a good shot, someone makes a birdie putt, just smiles, congratulatory, handshakes and things like that, which is great to see. And honestly, hopefully we're going to see more of that tomorrow when we come back for our live coverage for the final day. We'll be over most likely on the bluff side, the Nicholas course. A couple of great holes over there. Maybe one of the par 4s where the kind of creek runs down. So maybe some dramatic shots that we'll see, some really cool wedge shots and things like that. Might be a little bit later in the afternoon based on how things shape up with the tee times and things like that. But hope to see everybody there. Again, thank you to all of the staff here at Champions Retreat, our sponsors who we mentioned earlier, all the folks that have made this event possible over the last 6 years, including this year. And, Joe, obviously to you and Josh, thank you for everything that you guys have done as well.
Yeah, well, as well as our VGA staff and our volunteer rules officials who are PGA or VGA members out there roaming the course, making sure the players have answers to any ruling situations they may have. So thanks to the folks at home. I did get a text from WD out there in Dakotas that he's listening in on us.
Okay, that's great.
So
Good,
that's
good to hear
great.
that.
WD, thank you so much.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out there to Eddie Schroet for staying hydrated.
So can't wait for that Facebook post
and
from him.
passing on the knowledge to stay hydrated.
Yeah. Eddie, the Rangers lead the way, buddy.
All right, y'all. Till tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in this afternoon, and we look forward to seeing you on live coverage tomorrow.
All right, guys.
All right.